are so important. You're so valuable. And this world wouldn't be the same if you weren't here. And I know that's something you probably don't hear often. I know it's something that the people in your life don't confess to you, but they know it. They know their lives wouldn't be the same without you. You're so important and you're so valuable. And when you've been through a certain amount, when you've been through trauma, what it makes us feel most of the time is that we aren't important. We have no value and we mean nothing. That we're nothing. And that's something someone has told me before, verbatim. You're nothing. You mean nothing. And you have no importance. But sometimes we forget the impact that we have on other people. The ways that the words that we say, the jokes that we make, and the wisdom that we share, and the perspective that we share impacts one person. It does. You mean so much more to the world than you think. There's this quote I live by, it's the Desiderata. It says, you are a child of the universe. Like the trees, the stars, the rocks, or whatever, it says, you are important. You are just as important as the soil on the ground. You are just as important as the birds in the sky. And you are just as important as the worms in the ground. I don't care what you are. Woman, man, non-binary, in the middle. You are so valuable. And it's something you should never forget. And it's something I will constantly remind you. And reclaiming your worth is something that takes years to get to. Understanding how is it that I'm valuable? What is it that I'm contributing? And sometimes put it away from yourself. You are usually, because this video is for 18 and up, you are the sole contributor. You are the sole caretaker of yourself. When you speak, you communicate. When you sing, you give yourself joy. And when you dance, the world shakes. You express yourself. Think of the things you do for yourself. When you eat, you replenish yourself. When you drink, you cure your thirst. That's the word. Just these things show and prove how important we are. They show and prove and take a message to our bodies that we are so valuable and so important. You replenish yourself every day. You also ease yourself when you use the bathroom. You pleasure yourself when you masturbate. You're so important, not just to the collective, not just to the world, but to yourself. Everything you have to say and everything that you're doing is important not only for you, but for others. For those who have the ability to carry a child, you give life. And those who don't, you also contribute to those who give life. We are all so important. And that's one thing capitalism does. That's one thing individualism does. It makes you feel as though you're unimportant. And you don't even have to be a part of a group to believe that. You're just as important as those that you pedestalize. And you make just as much impact as they are. Yes, they do in numbers. Yes, they do in art. Yes, they do in ways that impact others, maybe more than not. But sometimes, because of my life, people weren't very kind to me through the early years. I remember just little things like I went to the job center and I told the woman, oh, I make mental health content. She said, keep going. All you need to do is keep posting and it's going to work out for you. Just those few words made my day. I remember I was getting a blood test and there was this really cute, pretty blonde girl and she smiled at me. I think I'd just gone through a breakup. And just that smile made my day when I felt like I was falling apart. The kindness that people, I remember I went to the job center. The man that worked there, he gave me a lollipop because you could tell I was like tense. Those things that you do, you act like they don't impact others. But I remember, people don't forget the kind words you said to them. People don't forget the love that you shown them. They never do. And even if they don't remember instinctively, their body remembers. It's what keeps them going. It's the vitality. Love is all around us. As we, like I've said before, as we replenish ourselves, we eat, we show ourselves love. As we shower and clean ourselves, we show ourselves love. Existing is an act of love. Think about it. Existing is not only an act of love, it's an act of care. As we care for ourselves, we care for others. And obviously, there are ways we can hurt ourselves. Injuries, and there are ways we can hurt others. Insults, abuse. But intrinsically, eating, bathing, singing, dancing, talking is an act of love. Even if you look at it with the chakras and everything, it's all connected. There's sacral chakra for pleasure. You fuck, you give pleasure. There are people that I've had sex with, I wouldn't be the same without them. They transformed me with that experience, and I'll never forget them. Even though they may want me to forget them, I'm sure they wouldn't forget me. You are not dispensable. And that's one thing. I think we lie to ourselves when we tell ourselves that this person or this human being is indispensable. Every human being has value, and every human life is important. Doesn't mean I'm all pro-life. Women have the right to make choices with their bodies. But, sorry, I'm pro-choice, I mean. But what I'm saying is that every human watching this, I don't care how old you are, I don't care where you come from, I don't even care what you've done. You're important. You have value. And you contribute to others in a way, not even necessarily positive, neutrally. You don't even know you're showing love. Sometimes the neutral, that's how you ask me, I really do feel like the language of existence is love. It is care. Because we care for ourselves. We care for our family. And I think when human beings fall apart from that, we become inhumane is when we don't show that. Call me insane. That's my belief. When we stray away from caring, loving, nurturing, because that's exactly what we're supposed to do with the earth anyways. And we've stepped aside of that because of capitalism, patriarchy, white supremacy, colonialism, whatever it is. But that is our default. And in many ways, it can also be to destroy because predators in the wild have to seek prey and whatever. But most of those times, it's to replenish themselves. That's what makes it different from humans sometimes, where they murder just to murder. And there are animals, of course, that murder just to murder. That's not the debate, that's not the topic. Not to stray away from that. But I'm just letting y'all know this, I'm not talking out of my head. But really take those actions of care, whether it's for yourself and replenishing yourself, take it seriously. Take it seriously when you have to shower. Make a celebration out of your life, out of every single thing that you do. Because it's an act of love and it's an act of care. Everything and every choice you do, it matters. Even as you watch this video, you help with my engagement. As you counted to this point, up until this point, because this is later in the video, you are showing me care. You are showing me love. Your attention brings me engagement, it brings me love. Even your subscription is an act of love. Even me sharing this with you is an act of love. We're all like symbiotically showing love and care to one another. And human beings, we reject that. And the rejection of that is when we become inhumane. It's when we step outside of ourselves. We are the incarnations of love. That's why in many like different religions, I'm very polytheistic about how I do things. There is love there because God is love. The language of humanity is love. And when we step aside from that, that's where we become inhumane. The language of existence is love. It's why we're made through love. And the two people may not necessarily be in love with each other, but they are showing each other affection and they're showing each other care. And that might not necessarily equate to love. I'm not the philosopher of all time. I'd love to be. But it still is an act of love. You have so much importance. Everything about you is important. And anyone who makes you feel as though it's not, shouldn't be in your life. And sometimes the relationships we have with ourselves is just like talking about and doing the things and doing it for me, doing it for you. So maybe if they're not into that thing that you're into, or they're not into musicals, or they're not quite as nerdy as you, it doesn't mean that they can't respect what it is you have to share. You are so important, you're so valuable, you're so loved, and everything about you is remarkable. From a psychological part, from an emotional part, even the stuff you've been through, it's remarkable that you have survived that. You are remarkable. And if you don't look at it on this primal level, then nothing matters. Even when you win the Grammy, it doesn't matter. Even if you win the Nobel Peace Prize, you get that degree, you get the boy, the girl, you get whatever it is you want. It won't matter because you don't understand that you mattered in the first place. That thing that has you striving and looking towards the next thing will never make you feel satisfied with yourself. You see what I'm saying? It will never make you feel satisfied with who it is that you are. Really think about that. Think about it intrinsically. Who are you? You know what I mean? And you can only know who you are and answer that question when every aspect of yourself is welcomed and appreciated. You are so beautiful, whoever it is that is watching. And yes, there is beauty in the, because I'm psychology as well, but I'm also sociology in the conventional side of things. And there are people who are conventionally attractive and those who are not. But you're so beautiful in that primal, in that existence human way. Because everything about you is an act of care. Your body is literally trying to keep you alive because it loves you. Be love, show love. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's what I'm trying to share. I hope this video was insightful. Please check out all my other videos because I worked so hard on them. They're not quite as high quality as this one, I hope, because I'm filming it right now. And if it's not high quality, that pisses me the fuck off. But I put so much of love into it, and I just want to share all the love that has been given to me, or the love that is inside of me, with the world. So please make sure to watch. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, subscribe to my Patreon, and I love you. It's Asha Love You Day telling you have a lovely day. I love you. And I don't think I even introduced myself. I'm your beautiful, wonderful medicine woman here. Have a lovely day.
The Medicine Woman.